Hi, this is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to Career Coach Office Hours. It is Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024, and I'm on vacation. This is a pre-recorded episode. People have sent me questions in advance of the show that I'm going to be using as the basis of this because I'm on vacation. We went to Vermont to visit our son, and the long and the short of it is, I want to enjoy my time. You may have noticed I'm not a young man anymore. My son is 23. He recently moved to Vermont. He's starting a job at the end of April. And while he's has a little downtime, we thought we'd go up and visit. So we're in Vermont, and I didn't want to leave you hanging. So this show is pre-recorded. I have questions in advance. I'm on Zoom now, and frankly, I'm not sure that you'll be able to see the question. You won't be able to see the questions. Sorry. So I'm just going to use what's been sent to me in advance. And apologies. This is a little bit different than what I normally do. Normally, I put the questions into chat so you can see them as well, but can't do that today because I'm recording on Zoom and uploading it through StreamYard to LinkedIn, to YouTube, and Facebook. So next week on the 9th, I'll be back with a normal show. And today, well, I hope one of your questions has been answered. I also want to mention before I go any further that JobSearch.Community is my site where I have curated information that you can watch, listen to, or read. So if you go to the homepage there, I have some free material there that you can download or watch or listen to. Almost all of it's available for download. And there's great information there that will help you. There's a basic thing about resumes. There's information about how to create a great elevator pitch and more. Again, JobSearch.Community is the site. And while you're there, if you become an insider, yes, I charge for that. It's $49 a month to get access to all my video courses, books, and guides, stuff that I charge for individually at my other site. But the other site, which is free at thebiggamehunter.us, has more than 12,000 posts. It's too much. So rather than hunting around for things, I've curated important stuff at JobSearch.Community. If you become an insider, in addition to getting access to all my content, what you can do is message your questions to me and I'll respond within 24 hours. If you become an Insider Plus member, in addition to that, you'll get me on a couple of Zoom calls a month. Become an Insider Premium member. In addition to everything I've previously mentioned, we do individual or group coaching so I can help you more directly. Again, $49 a month to become an insider, $79 a month to become an Insider Plus member, and $1,000 per month to become an Insider Premium member. Again, that's JobSearch.Community. So I've received a number of questions in advance of the show. And the first one is, when you're in a job interview, how would you compliment any company? Why are you trying to compliment them? What is it that makes you think they require being complimented? Now, I'll also say, I think that's unnecessary. I think enthusiasm for a firm and what they're doing is as much as you want to be doing. Certainly, you don't want to seem like a suck up or worse, a brown nose when you're doing it. But I'll simply say they don't need your compliments. Oh, you are a great company. I think I could make a valuable contribution to you. Oh, you are a great man. You are a great woman. I would like to work. Who wants to hear that nonsense? It just makes you seem like a jerk. So don't worry about complimenting a company. Focus on creating a great impression with them. and demonstrate how your background fits the need that they have and how you can help them solve a problem they have. That's really what your focus should be. Now, I'll also say that for an employer, if they have a choice between two similarly qualified people, your interest in a role serves you because sometimes that's the tiebreaker because they want to make an offer that's accepted. So you're expressing interest in the job and the role is important. At the end of an interview, all you need to say is, I just want you to know how interested I am in this role. I look forward to hearing from you about next steps. Or I'm really interested in this role. When do you think you might be getting back to me? Great, because I am very interested in working for you, and that isn't as much as you really should go. Beyond that, it's like being a date that is just too aggressive, and very few people like stalker dates. So just watch for that. Don't worry about their complimenting them. Next question is, do companies still check references before hiring employees, or is it just a formality? Let me say to you that hiring someone and checking a reference is never a formality. I don't want you to ever have that thought again. It is never a formality. I had clients of mine ask me to check references, and I would hear some atrocious things from people that I had to report back to my client because, I didn't want them hiring someone and it coming back to me that I knew this person didn't show up for work, let alone show up for work on time. They just didn't show up. They were a bad performer. They were whatever it was. I don't want to go into details, but the long and the short of it was it's never a formality. As for do they still check references? Some do, some don't. Many do, many don't. There's no rule about this. It's whatever a firm decides. But if they decide to check a reference, it is not, I repeat, it is not a formality. Third question is, how can LinkedIn be used effectively for networking with companies and recruiters? Is it difficult to reach out through LinkedIn? No, it is not difficult at all. Now, this person needs to be a connection in some way, shape, or form. And one of the ways to build out your ability to develop connections, and by that I mean second level connections, is by networking or connecting, I should say, with third party recruiters. By doing that, they become your first level connection, and everyone that they're connected to becomes your second level. You can message those people, right? So connect with lots of recruiters who do work in your field, in your geographic area. Also, join groups. Groups on LinkedIn, and you can join up to 100 groups, allow you to message people who are members of that group. Thus, you're able to connect with people and start working toward developing a relationship with them so they get to know, like, trust, and respect you and value you for your expertise. And you can help them and they can help you. So that's the model for LinkedIn. And I speak from the perspective of I was among the first 10,000 people on LinkedIn. So of the more than 1 billion people on the platform, I'm member 7653. So I'll just simply say that's how the platform works. And that's how you start connecting with people. But if you think just because you're connected, someone's going to jump through hoops to help you, you're mistaken. They don't know you yet. They don't trust you yet in your ability to serve. They don't know that you're really competent. So it takes time once connected to have that kind of relationship with someone. After all, if someone contacted you out of the blue and said, could you refer me to your boss? You'd be hesitant, right? Well, why should someone do that for you? Okay. Number 4, a recruiter sent me a message on LinkedIn to set a call meeting to discuss a position. I gave them time to call me. However, they did not call me back. Am I wrong? I gave a specific time to call. What should I send them? Excuse me one second. As a gentle reminder. It's not that you were wrong, but you probably sent them one date and time. And they may have been on a call, they may have been interviewing someone. The times may not have worked for them. So a better response is to say, I know my schedule at this point. Let me give you a few alternatives. Let me know which one works for you, or if they don't work for you, what's available for you, and I'll see if I can make that work for me. So once they didn't send you a scheduling link, as I do when I work with a coaching client, your job is to give them a few alternatives, not one. So the way to gently remind them is to message them and say, I didn't hear from you at the date and time that I proposed. Here are a few more alternatives. Give me a sense of which of those work for you so I can block out time on my calendar. That's the simplest way to handle it. What is the significance of listing the university attended on a resume or LinkedIn profile? Is it necessary to list the majors earned there as well? So let me answer the first part of that. What's the significance of listing the university attended? And that is, every university represents a brand. So, if I said to you, someone went to Stanford, NYU, University of Chicago, Cambridge, whatever the school is, you have an image of that university in your mind and the caliber of the person who attended there. If I mentioned College of the City of New York, if I mentioned, and I would be making up names here at this point, so I'm not going to, three guys in a garage college in Austin, Texas, that has a different image, right? So the university represents a brand, a great response. A mediocre brand, they don't get the idea that you're world class. After all, if you were world class, you'd go to Stanford. That's the way it goes. Now, as for listing majors there, it depends on your field. If you attended University of Florida and got your degree in underwater basket weaving or astrology, obviously, I have no idea if they have a degree in astrology. I assume not, but just in case, yes, I am making fun of those two alleged degrees. I would never include them because who cares? If anything, they think you're an airhead. However, if you have a PhD in quantitative physics, why wouldn't you mention it? So when someone asks a question like this, it tells me that they went to a mediocre school and they know it, and they got a mediocre degree with mediocre grades and they know that too, and they're wondering if they can hide it. Just put where you went to school and what degree you received, bachelor's, master's, what have you, and leave it at that. Don't go through all the details to let them know your undergraduate degree was in astrology, okay? If HR says we look forward to having you on board via email after my final interview, does this mean I have a good chance of getting a job offer? They also ask for my references and current pay slips. The answer is yes. The probability is you're getting an offer. Now, whether it'll be an acceptable offer, that we don't know. But when I did recruiting, and I stopped doing that many years ago, when I stopped doing recruiting, things shifted. When I did recruiting, clearly when they sent such a signal to a candidate, barring a bad reference, they intended to make an offer. Now, good offer, acceptable offer, that's a different question. But this person, asked about, we look forward to having you on board. That's the buy signal. And they also ask for your references and current pay stubs. And as long as you haven't lied, about what your dates and wages were. As long as your references say wonderful things from you, I would expect an offer. And again, just alert your references that they may be hearing from so and so representing such and such firm. And please say wonderful things about me and my performance with the organization. Okay. Now, I just want to remind you before I go to the next question, if you've got a question for me, well, you can't put it into chat today. However, message me for next week at linkedin.com/IN// the big game hunter. As you can see, I take questions from people. Um, if you want to do it live, I'll post the next episode probably on Thursday or Friday of this week, so that this way you can send me your questions. Also, you'll know the link for attending live, so that, hey, audience participation. I love audience participation. It's fun. Also, JobSearch.Community, where I have video courses, books, and guides at a flat price. If you went to my other site, thebiggamehunter.us, I have the same courses there, but I charge individually for them, with a link back to JobSearch.Community, because frankly, it'd be foolish to buy them individually when there's so much there at JobSearch.Community to help you. So again, go there, purchase access to the courses, the books, the guides, um, coaching if that's what serves you. I want to help. Okay. So let's go on to another question. Um, how can you persuade an employer who is not interested in interviewing or hiring you to consider you for a position advertised on their website and LinkedIn profile? Well, the simplest thing is you can't persuade them if you're not qualified. So the thing that you didn't do with your resume and probably with your LinkedIn profile as well is you didn't demonstrate how your background fit what they needed, hence why they don't want to interview you. So the long and the short of it is, how can you do it? Well, since they haven't been in contact, find the hiring manager and message them through LinkedIn or text them if you might have their mobile number and say, I forwarded my resume to your organization. I haven't gotten a response. However, I do believe my background fits the role. Let me explain how it does so based upon the ads that I've seen on LinkedIn or on their website, whatever it is. And then you lay out a case for your candidacy. If I'm mistaken, I apologize for wasting your time, but I don't think I am, and hope to hear from you about scheduling an interview. That's the way to do it, because you probably sent a generic resume that you wanted them to interview you, but you didn't think of it from their standpoint. I really want to interview with this firm. I really like this job, but are you qualified to do this job? If you are, well, maybe they didn't see the resume. Maybe it went through their applicant tracking system, and the result wound up being that the system rejected you before it even got to a person. So um, that's how I would approach it. How would you craft a LinkedIn connection request message to a recruiter for a job you're interested in? So a LinkedIn connection request basically says, hi, I'm interested in connecting with you, and let's try and support one another. Whatever it is you would normally say. I saw that you advertised for such and such. I do have a background I think that would fit nicely. Uh, Once we're connected, I'd like to forward my resume to you. Now, they may direct you to their applicant tracking system at that point, but say, regardless, I'd like to be connected with you, and get to know more about you, the firm you're with, and such, and just try and deflect off their sending you to the ATS. Once connected, message them with your resume, so that in this way you can follow up with them more regularly. Okay. Um, If you were interviewed for a job by multiple people at the same time, should you send everyone a follow-up email? Well, I'd start off with a thank you email to everyone, not a follow-up. A thank you post-interview, yes, you send to everyone, and it should be different for each person. Not just simply the name, but you want to tailor it to the area that they questioned you about. You want to have the uh, high level perspective as you send the thank you, because a thank you note is an opportunity to resell yourself to them. You can say something like, thanks for making time to meet with me. I really appreciate it. Just want you to know how interested I am in the role. And I just want to remind you about how my background fits. And you'd list a couple of points that you made during the interview. In addition, it seemed as though you were particularly interested in my experience with whatever it was. Let me reiterate how my background could help you in this regard. And you send that kind of a thank you to each person. As for a follow-up, who was the point person on the interview? Was it the hiring manager? Was it HR? Whoever the point person was, that's who you should be sending the follow-up email to, not to the 10 people that you've interviewed with over 4 occasions. That's silly. But in terms of selling to them why they should talk to you or be interested in you, tailor it to each individual person and the kind of things they ask you about. Last question for today. If I was not asked to bring a CV, should I still bring it to the interview? Of course. It's not like it's going to be likely that they're going to need it, because the fact is they all have computers. The resume arrived electronically. They can access your resume. However, on the off chance that they need a hard copy, have a hard copy available so they can review it. That's really it. A hard copy as a just in case. And that's what you do. Don't force it on them. Don't simply say, as you go to meet with them, sit down there and reach into your backpack, briefcase, purse, whatever, and say, I got my resume for you. You'll notice if they seem to be forgetful about things, and then you can say, I have the idea that you might not have my resume with you. Would you like a copy? And they'll probably say yes, and then you can offer it to them. But don't force it on them. That's goofy. They won't like it. You're being hyper aggressive. So I'm Jeff Altman. Hope you found this helpful. My website that I want to encourage you to go to is JobSearch.Community. I've got free information on the homepage, plus a lot of other video courses, books, and guides. And now I'm starting to add in some forms that you can use for follow-ups, for career planning, things along those lines to help you holistically with your career. Again, that's JobSearch.Community. Connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the big game hunter. Message me that you saw this, because I like knowing I'm helping some folks. Once we're connected, your network is going to grow a lot larger very, very quickly. After all, I was an early member of LinkedIn. My connections become yours. I want to help you. Also, I'll be back next week on Tuesday live. I believe that's April 9th. Hope to see you there. Hope you have a terrific day. And most importantly, be great. Take care.